Shalom, Israel. It's your brother JD Nija. Oh, so much to say. I'm not going to make this a long one. I just wanted to make a point to make people aware of something. These are the things that later on. This is one of those videos that people will be going back to, going, "Fuck, that JD Nija was right." This is Word of Truth with JD Nija. LA Times with LA Times with JD Nija. Coffee with JD Nija. Muffins with JD Nija. Man, I'm punch drunk from everything that's getting spouted out, you know. So so this story, I'm going to explain it best I can. Anti-vaccine misinformation compounds threat. So what this story is about, says vaccine lies worsen woes. I'm going to turn it around so you can check me out. Check me out. So this story, is about this is what they're saying. In Ukraine, when the C-19 took off, this is what they're saying. I don't know how much of this is true, but this is an interesting bit of propaganda. They're saying that Putin put out a lot of misinformation to the Ukrainian people. So you know they're right next door to each other, right? So they're neighbors, and there was a lot of love-hate going on there, and so Putin was creating a situation that people in Ukraine were very reluctant and were in a anti-jab mentality, right? Because they were hearing a lot of negative stuff from Mr. Vladimir, and his people were pushing these. That's why social media can be so dangerous, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. So what this article is talking about is how these refugees that are flooding into Poland and Romania and Moldova and these bordering countries, that the chance of catastrophic Omicron variants and things like that, creating a wildfire of plague and pestilence, in other words, disease. So when we look at this propaganda, this experts fear, I'll read it, experts fear disease outbreaks as European nations take refugees, many who distrust the establishment. So you have all these people that their vaccination rate in Ukraine was about 32%. So and very few children took the vaccine, right? So if we have a RNA protein spiking helix involved jump shot, and it's designed to lower your response. It's designed to lower your response. It'll spike your response, and then it'll lower your response, because once the protein gets washed off the cell, and the cell is becoming unviable because of this jump shot, this venom that's been put in the body, you need to continue to booster seat if you're going to sit at the table. Otherwise, you're going to fall out. You need a booster seat. So, taking all those potential realities, I don't know, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a prophet who's trying to explain some of what we see out here. And what we're seeing is we are forcing through this invasion and this refugee creating war, we're forcing a certain amount of people into a tight situation with other people, and they have different views. I think, from what I can tell, Poland, their vaccination rate is much higher. So what we're seeing is a situation where, and I think that's why they aren't pushing for everyone to get the jump shot, because they need this real human population, these people that can sit at the table without a booster seat. They grew up and they knew they didn't need to take the jump shot, and they don't need a booster seat because they can sit at the table on their own. So what I'm trying to point out is, without getting this taken down, is that part of the reason they only want a percentage on the court at one time taking the jump shot is because this is what creates this potential for widespread infection through differing levels of response. Got to try and crack the rhythms, because they don't want Truth with JD Nija to get out. So that's the point I'm trying to make. If you can understand what I was just saying, is that this might be part of what the plan is, to set off the real global endemic, because it's going to be, talk about a super spreader event. How do we know that some of the things Putin was saying about the jump shot for the Ukrainians is real. What if he's telling the truth? What if he's saying, don't play ball because it's not gonna help you anyway? And so, what is it possible that the medicine that went to that part of the world had no medicine in it? It had no RNA, proteins, spiking, venom in it. So even the people who played ball and took the jump shot placebo. So they're flooding Europe with real humans that can sit at the table on their own and don't need a booster because they never ordered that meal. They didn't want that meal. They wanted to sit at the table and they didn't need to be boosted, right? So I'm just bringing this up as a public service announcement. And it's hard to say these things because, for one, I don't know if they're true or not, but my spidey sense, my ability to read between the lines, is, in my mind, trustworthy. And I may not be hitting 1,000, but when I come up with the bases loaded in the ninth, with the game on the line, I'll bring in that run because I'm going to win. So I'm not saying that we're going to win the series being that we won the first game. I'm just saying by the end of the series we'll see who's scored the most points and who was right and who was wrong. One more time with the headline. Lies, 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 yeah. Doo, 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 doo. Lies, 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 yeah. It's all a bunch of lies, people. This is Word of Truth with JD Nija. Hopefully this will be the end for today. Very tiring. Very tiring, but I'm doing the Lord's work, so it's worth every effort. I love you, Israel. I love you, believers. The Lord loves you, and He wants you to come home with Him and sup with Him. It's your brother, JD Nija. I'm out.